is up? My name is Mario, aka the Loot Box Hero, aka the real Super Mario here, bringing you another Pokemon Legends ZA and assorted video game news video. Alright, so we got a lot more Pokemon than assorted video game news this time. It seems like the last couple days, the news and leaks and stuff have been popping in a good way. Well, look, we don't even have a 4chan text dump today. All right, we got all meat and taters. Okay, all right, we have an announcement from Legend of Zelda, so that's going to be pretty interesting. We have an interesting Overwatch 2 rumor. We've got some rumored Mega Evolutions. You know what I'm saying? Possible regional forms for Pokemon Legends ZA, as well as it looks like you know what I'm saying? It looks like Gamefreak is making some moves. They're looking to hire well over 100 new people, so they're probably going to create an entirely new development team. So things is cooking. We're going to talk about that. Of course, if you want to continue getting videos like this from me, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, do all that good stuff that YouTube requires you to do to continue getting videos from me. Follow me at twitter.com/RSMario128. Like my video tweet, share my video tweet, and I will shout you out at this portion of the video. Let's get on into it. Alright, so they officially released the Legend of Zelda soundtrack. So the soundtrack for Tears of the Kingdom has released, and I have to say, it looks pretty good. I like the box, the green and black. And then, of course, the discs are all white and gold. I actually like it. It's only available in Japan right now, and it's probably sold out more than likely. But the fact that it is released, and so since it's released, of course, the songs are going to be everywhere. You know, hopefully Nintendo won't DCMA too many people who post the songs. I've picked up a couple of them myself. You're probably listening to one now, depending on how things go when I start to edit it. But so far, so good. Tears of the Kingdom has probably one of the best soundtracks in the last couple of years when it comes to gaming. It's got one of those soundtracks where you can listen to it when you're not even playing games. All right, and that is the sign of a good soundtrack. All right, so we got a Overwatch 2 rumor. So, Pool Noodle Overwatch or Pot Noodle Overwatch, a account I've never heard of before. They have a rumor that says Overwatch 2 will be colliding with Five Nights at Freddy's to celebrate Five Nights at Freddy's 10th anniversary. Season 12 begins on August 27th. Who do you think will be getting a skin? Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't know much about Five Nights at Freddy's. I haven't really played the game. I don't know much about it. I know that it's Freddy Fazbear and these kids, they die in a restaurant, like a Chuck E. Cheese type of thing, because Freddy Fazbear tries to kill them, or the animatronics come to life or whatever. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know that much about the story. But, I mean, it would be an interesting collaboration. You know, I mean, you know, I don't know who would get a skin from this. Who would be Freddy Fazbear though? Freddy Fazbear. Who would be Freddy? I don't even know. I don't know, but it's definitely interesting. I do say it's a rumor right now because I've never heard of Pot Noodle Overwatch, and until it comes out of Overwatch Cavalry, I'm going to put it in the rumor space. All right, so we get down to the Pokemon news. So we have Light with a couple of potential Mega Evolutions / regional forms. So the first one is this Slowbro. I feel like this is a Mega. I feel like this is Mega Slow King or something, because this looks like the Slowking headpiece. So I feel like this will be Mega Slow King. You know, they've gotten this perfect symbiosis between the Shelder and the Slowbro. You know what I'm saying? And they you know, become Mega Slow King. You know, because I always thought it was weird that Slowbro got a Mega, but he evolves in the Slow King, which is weird. You know what I'm saying? So why not give Slow King a Mega? Now, this thing looks kind of interesting. I feel like maybe it'll be Ghost. Maybe it'll be Water Ghost. Or maybe it'll be Ghost Psychic. Maybe they go full-blown, Supernatural with this. Alright, because he does look kind of like maybe a ghost or a genie. You know what I'm saying? So, Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool though. All right, even though I will say it's probably fake, but the art is really good, and the concept is really cool. The next thing we have is this butterfly Pokemon. Now this looks like a new Pokemon, but this also could be a regional variation. You know what I'm saying? This could be a regional variant of Butterfree. All right, because Butterfree is one of the Pokemon in Generation 1 that hasn't really gotten anything. I think Butterfree might have got a Gigantamax form, but he hasn't gotten. They haven't gotten any megas, no regionals, nothing. Like they haven't get. And Butterfree is like a popular Pokemon from Gen 1 because Butterfree was part of the anime. All right, how many Pokemon that were big in the anime that were on Ash's team that have never gotten anything as far as like gimmicks or whatever? You know, Butterfree is one of those Pokemon. So this could be a regional Butterfree. Now the thing here that kind of makes me think this might be fake is with these like, you know, behind the scenes like leak type of things, like, oh, I stole this from the 2D design team. They usually don't have Nintendo on it. All right, they'll usually have Gamefreak or something like that on there, but they won't have the Nintendo logo because remember, Gamefreak is its own company. All right, so the design team inside of Gamefreak works for Gamefreak. All right, so Gamefreak is a third party. They're not owned by Nintendo, so you know this is probably fake too. But I will say it looks pretty cool. All right, it looks like it's probably gonna be bug flying, maybe pure bug. But yeah, I think regional what is it? Luminosian Butterfree looks pretty cool. All right, so we get to some more tangible news. So we have Amy in Japan, or Ami in Japan says TCPi updated the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet playlist. They added 2 new hidden videos today. And then to make it clear, there are 5 hidden videos in the SV playlist, but 3 hidden videos are originally in the playlist, so they added 2 new ones today. So basically meaning that they added 2 new videos. Usually this means that something's about to happen, like a presents or something. This way, once the presents happen and they show whatever in the presents, they can just drop the videos individually on YouTube. They can just public them, you know what I'm saying, without having to upload and go through all these changes. So the thing is, what could these be? I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. Like, there's a small chance that maybe we could get another like DLC or some other small piece of content from Scarlet and Violet. You know, maybe cut content that they held back and they decide like, oh well, let's release this now. You know, because I mean, it would be kind of suspicious to do like nothing for 2024 but drop the card game. You know, but the card game plus a DLC, you know, maybe smaller than Kitakami, you know what I'm saying, a DLC for Scarlet and Violet would actually work pretty well, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention, of course, there is still the third legendary, the 8th mythical, that is a possibility. You know what I'm saying? We don't know anything about it. They haven't said anything about it, but it was part of the art, so maybe this is pertaining to that. Maybe at the eventual direct or presents, they'll announce a new DLC. All right, so this one came out of nowhere. So Chinese Nintendo drops this. It says, new Pokemon Snap officially released in China on July 16th. This is the first ever Pokemon game to officially release in China after the console ban in 2000, with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee preparing for release afterwards. So I had no idea that you know, China had banned console games like, you know, outright, like in 2000. Like, I know that in order to do business in China, you have to work with one of the big Chinese companies in whatever field you happen to be in. And the big Chinese companies for video games are Tencent and NetEase. All right. So, I mean, if you're an Overwatch fan, you know the beef between Blizzard and NetEase and how crazy those beefs could get, seeing as though they literally destroyed the Blizzard offices because the deal fell through between the two of them until eventually they fixed it like a year or so later or whatever. And the reason they do this is because, of course, it gives the country or the government, particularly the CCP, more direct control over the products that are released in China when it comes to like a cultural or political or whatever lean to it. You know, because of course, if you have to work with Tencent or NetEase, they are working directly with the CCP, so the CCP can really watch what foreigners release in China. But I feel like that's kind of crazy that they haven't had an official Pokemon game in 24 years. That's crazy. So I would assume that maybe they've like, I guess Chinese people have just been importing them, which that's crazy, man. That's super crazy. So of course they went into some of the reasons as to why the games didn't get imported to China, and they showed that the alteration that has been done by the CCP, and it says curious, the sun symbols have their rectangular rays edited out and replaced with dots or rectangles. Uh, it could be that the original ones, especially the profile icon, resembles the Taiwan or Kumangtang emblems too strongly. And so then you see like the various emblems. And right here it says on the left is the International Sun emblem from the profile pic, and on the right is the Kumangtang party emblem in the Republic of China. The use of the KMT or the ROC emblems are often banned for heavily restricted historical context in the People's Republic of China. Because, of course, if you don't know, there are technically two Chinas. There is the People's Republic of China, which is the Communist China, and then there is the Republic of China, which is Taiwan, which is more social, more conservative, not conservative, capitalist China. You know, so this is pretty interesting. I want to see what they do with Pokemon Pikachu and Eevee, because from what I hear, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee got approved, but Let's Go Pikachu did not. So what kind of alterations they're gonna have to do to get those games up? All right, so the big story of today, we have Gamefreak announced they are holding big recruitment event on August 30th. They are looking for planners, designers, programmers, artists, and more. Gamefreak only has 200 to 250 employees. Considering the series they manage, it isn't enough. Neither is the time they have to release games, according to Stealth. So, we've talked about ad nauseum, what's going on with Pokemon, what's going on with Game Freak, the fact that they need to either take more time to develop the games or, hire more people to help develop the games at a timely manner. And I think they're doing both. I think they listen to us. You know what I'm saying? So, they say here, Game Freak, the developer of the Pokemon series loved by people all over the world, is actively recruiting mid-career employees. So this is kind of important. So they're not necessarily looking for newbies coming straight out of college. They're looking for people who are in the middle of their career. So you've got like 3 to 5 years experience. Man, I remember those days, man. When you're coming fresh out of college and they tell you, oh yeah, with this degree, you should be able to become a project manager. So then you go out there to try to do that and realize that no, you can't get none of them jobs because you just spent the last 3 years of your life getting a degree but not getting any experience. And so it still doesn't work and you still end up working at Kroger's for the next couple years.
A few moments later.
So they're looking for 100 people. If there are a large number of applicants, participants will be selected by lottery. That's kind of crazy. Imagine you got all the qualifications in the world, but because there's too many people, they pick a lottery and they pick 100 people and you'll get picked. Bruh, that's crazy, man. All right, so now the one interesting thing about this is the jobs that they're looking for particularly. So we know they're looking for a little over 100 people, which means that this is going to be a whole new dev team for them. All right, they're already looking for a project manager, so he's probably going to be the leader of whatever that dev team is, getting overseen by one of the main producers of at Game Freak or whatever. But they're looking for a Pokemon modeler, so somebody specifically to make Pokemon. And they said the job description is creating Pokemon models for consumer game development, model specification, design, workflow, construction, quality control, and mass production with partner companies. So, of course, this basically means, you model the Pokemon and you make this in a way that it can work across our corporate synergy network, so it can work with whatever creatures is doing, and it can work over here with whatever Dina is doing with Pokemon Go, and these models can be easily just moved around between the various different games and art styles. And here's the interesting one: 2D art designer, 2D background art designer, and 2D art designer assigned specifically to Pokemon. So more than likely, these roles are probably for like concept designers. So I assume that this team or this new team that they're making are going to be probably working on Generation 10, which means that Generation 10 probably ain't coming out until like maybe 2027. No. I'm sorry. It's so long, bro, because I don't think that, I mean, if they're just hiring a new team, that means that maybe we're not going to get this game till like 2027, which means that 2026 will be kind of empty unless there's like a DLC, or maybe they do the Gen 5 remake or what have you. I don't know, man. That's going to be crazy. So they're looking for some contractors. So they're looking for some game programmers, a UI programmer, but these are all specifically for a new IP. So we know that they're working on Project Bloom. So so maybe these UI people and like these programmers are gonna go towards that project. So that's gonna be kind of interesting. I'm kind of intrigued now. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine if this is like some kind of Souls light, a Gamefreak Souls light, bruh? That'd be kind of lit. I ain't gonna lie. And so then the other interesting thing here, they're looking for a communication game programmer, specifically for the Pokemon series. So of course, the job description kind of explains why this is so interesting, because they're looking for somebody to design and create an application that includes P2P communication and server client processing, along with a communication system required to realize it in accordance with the game specifications. So basically, they're looking for somebody to work on peer-to-peer communication. So some kind of multiplayer type of deal. Now, of course, people have been asking for a Pokemon MMO forever. I don't know if that's going to be the thing that they're working on. I think maybe they're going to look to overhaul Pokemon like multiplayer so that it can work for the next generation. Maybe Nintendo's working on some kind of next generation cloud computing multiplayer type of deal. I'll also talk about those new patents that Gamefreak made, I believe last year, where they were looking to make some kind of new, always online, constantly evolving Pokemon game. So maybe this is something connected to that patent. They're also looking for an animation programmer, so I guess all of the people who hate the animations in the game, maybe they could be happy they hired a guy to make better animations for y'all, But now the last one is probably the most interesting one, as they're hiring a bunch of research and development people, and most of these people are doing things related to next gen. So they're probably looking to upgrade their engine, or maybe even design a whole new engine for development on next generation consoles, basically the Switch 2. So something that'll support 4K, something that'll support more memory, and more things like that. But the one that's really going to be the interesting one, and I can already tell there's going to be some clickbaity thumbnails, I might even do it myself, and that is the machine learning job, which basically means AI. We utilize the latest AI technology, primary machine learning, to identify and resolve issues with our company's game development, support a streamlined game development using AI technology, introducing AI technology into games, AI technology research and output activities, internal study sessions, external dissemination. In this position, you will be part of the machine learning team and will be responsible for driving multiple themes. So I think more than likely what they do with machine learning is they probably use this to resolve like programming issues, like debug and stuff like that. You know, because debugging a program can be complicated, all right, and you could fix one thing that will break 5 other things, and then you have to figure out a way to do that. Having an AI that will help you debug things will probably be amazing, you know. So that's probably what they use the machine learning for. I doubt that they're pulling a Power World out this piece, and they're just throwing some stuff into an AI and be like, "Look, make me a Pokemon." I don't think that's what they're doing though. So, tell me what you think. Are you excited? I'm low-key a little excited. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I know that this team isn't even formed yet, and so anything that this team makes is probably going to be years out. We probably won't see it for a while. But the fact that Gamefreak is moving in the right direction has me a little hyped. So, that's about it for this. Of course, like, comment, subscribe. And as always, people, keep it real, and I hope to see you tomorrow.